Happy Monday! KidNuz is straight ahead, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Gaming just took a seat at the head of the class. The makers of the hit app ABC Mouse have created Adventure Academy, an aged-up, immersive online world that will challenge and entertain your teens and tweens on the subjects they love or need the most. 8 to 13-year-olds can jump in on quests and earn rewards for their avatars, all while supporting their learning in math, science, social studies, coding, and more. And they can do it on a tablet, smartphone, or computer. Head over to adventureacademy.com/KidNuz to learn more.
Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, October 9th, 2023. Depending on where you live, it's either Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. And we begin with a spooky pre-Halloween fright in California. Up and down the state, spiders are falling from the clear blue sky. They're wrapped in a fluffy, sticky white substance that looks a whole lot like the fake spider webbing that comes in a can. This, though, is the real deal, and it's landing on cars, pets, and people. And while a bit shocking, it's apparently a completely normal process called ballooning. A professor of biology at San Francisco State tells the Chronicle newspaper that the white stuff is the work of baby spiders whose survival depends on them getting away from where they're born. To do so, they spin silk strands that allow them to get caught up in the wind and taken to a new place to live, where they're not competing with their siblings. Relative peace in the Middle East has been shattered. Over the weekend, the Palestinian group Hamas made a surprise holiday attack on Israel, the worst in 50 years, prompting the prime minister of that country, Benjamin Netanyahu, to declare all-out war. At this point, he has the outrage of much of the world, including the U.S., behind him. President Biden pledged his rock-solid support and issued a blunt warning. Israel has a right to defend itself and its people. The world is watching. And that includes New York State. It has the largest Jewish population outside of Israel, and its governor, Kathleen Hochul, ordered the Empire State Building, Niagara Falls, and all state landmarks to be lit up in blue and white, the colors of Israel's flag, in solidarity. In today's sports notes, 26.2 miles in under 2 hours? It's getting closer. Yesterday, a runner from Kenya smashed the official world record by finishing the Chicago Marathon in 2 hours, 0 minutes, and 35 seconds. In 2019, another Kenyan went the distance even faster, but because he had pacers along the route and coaches who delivered water, his time was not eligible for world record status. One status not up for debate, that of Simone Biles. Over the weekend at World, she added to her medal haul with 2 more individual golds, one in floor, the other in beam, and a silver in vault. Those 3 were icing on the cake because on Friday, with a gold in the all-around, she became the most decorated gymnast, man or woman, of all time. More important than the medals, her mental health. As long as I'm out there twisting again, having and finding the joy for gymnastics again, Simone said last night, who cares about the podium? By now, the best of the academic best have gotten the phone call they've worked their entire lives for. The final Nobel notification was made this morning in the field of economics. Last Friday, the greatest honor of all, the Peace Prize, went to jailed Narges Mohammadi for her tireless fight for women's rights in Iran. A few days before, the award for medicine was won by 2 researchers who unlocked the key to a successful COVID vaccine. Their work helped bring an end to the worst pandemic in a century, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. One of the winners says early in her career, the University of Pennsylvania told her she wasn't faculty quality and basically fired her. But Dr. Catalin Carrico refused to give up, combined her smarts with a partner, and as they say, the rest is history, layered perhaps with a sweet dash of, I told you so. Raspberry Rally, we hardly knew ya. Despite being a fan favorite last year, the newest cookie in the Girl Scout kitchen didn't make the cut for the upcoming selling season. No real reason was given, other than the organization wants to prioritize the classics. The rally was a sister cookie to the Thin Mint, the first cookie offered exclusively online, and sold out in less than a day. The frenzy led some who were lucky enough to get their hands on a box to resell them on sites like eBay for up to 4 times as much as they paid. Another salty reveal: the cookies that are still in the mix are going to cost you more. Many chapters say they've had to hike the price to $6 a box to keep up with the rising costs of food, labor, and transportation. Still to come, the 4 bears who've jiggled their way to the top of Fat Bear Week. But first, our KidNuz quiz. In what state are spiders falling from the sky? California, due to a phenomenon called ballooning. A Kenyan broke the world record for a marathon with what time? 2 hours, 0 minutes, and 35 seconds. The U.S. is pledging its full support to which country? Israel. The Girl Scouts will not include what cookie in its upcoming selling season? The Raspberry Rally. In today's KidNuz Kicker, the lifestyles of the fat and famous in Alaska is must-see TV, but it's almost over. Only the 4 flabbiest are still standing. 32 Chunk is up against Bear 901 in Poll 1, and in Poll 2, it's Grazer versus Holly. Your vote today will determine which 2 Porky Bears will go snout to snout in tomorrow's championship match. The Fat Bear contest was the brainchild of Mike Fitz, who created a one-day event back in 2014 to highlight the need for the residents of Katmai National Park to pack on the pounds before they hibernate for winter, when they don't eat or drink anything for months. The competition was such a hit, Mr. Fitz stretched it into a week. Make sure to weigh in. You can follow the link on our resource page or visit explore.org/fatbearweek to vote. Before we go, hello to our KidNuz classroom, starting with Ms. Calhoun and her Panthers at the Pierce School of International Studies in Chicago, Illinois. Miss Barnett and her Bulldogs at Rocky Run in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And a special hello to Mrs. Saliva, one of our very own KidNuz teacher ambassadors from Minnesota, who wants her amazing students from Eagle Point to have the best year ever. Thanks for listening. Please rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.